After the Chiefs advanced to the Super Bowl, Taylor Swift had her arm around Ed Kelce, Travis's father, while they were celebrating. But when she saw Donna, Travis's mother, crying, she went over to give her a hug and comfort her immediately. But the most beautiful moment of the night was this, when Taylor went over to hug and kiss Travis.
Hey, I'm going to enjoy it with you guys over here. I love you. So much fun.
It's common knowledge now that pop sensation Taylor Swift has fallen head over heels for American NFL star Travis Kelce, despite Travis harboring a longtime crush on Taylor and even gifting her a matching bracelet as a token of his unwavering affection. It took Taylor some time to recognize that Travis was the genuine article and deserved a chance. Evidently, Taylor saw beyond Travis's cliched romantic gestures, imposing physique, attractive visage, muscular arms, and thriving career. Discovering instead a caring, intelligent, bright, and empathetic individual worthy of her attention, effort, and naturally, her affection.
It's amazing. I mean, his work is obviously so incredible, and I'm a big fan, but meeting him, you just get such a good, very real, very abnormally talented, normal personality.
Let's be honest. Travis is going above and beyond to establish himself as the boyfriend of the year. He's redefining the concept of being a supportive partner. I mean, not only did he jet off to Argentina to cheer on his lady at her concert, but he also splurged millions on a house just to create a more intimate space for them. Talk about romance. Unlike Taylor's previous boyfriend, Travis isn't fazed or overwhelmed by the added spotlight that accompanies dating someone as renowned as Taylor. He's unafraid to openly express his deep affection for her, a quality Taylor undoubtedly values given her immense fame. But you know what truly surprised us? Absolutely no one, not even you, predicted this relationship.
The Swift concerts, there are friendship bracelets, and I wanted to give Taylor Swift one with my number on it. Not right now.
Ooh, yeah. Your number's in 87 or your phone number?
You know.
Who would have thought Taylor's next beau would be an athlete? Her previous partners have usually been actors or figures from the music industry, like 6-year relationship with Joe Alwyn and others like Joe Jonas, Jake Gyllenhaal, and John Mayer. So the odds of her partner being an NFL player seemed quite slim and entirely unforeseen, to be frank. And while we're not opposed to it, it does make you curious about Travis and prompts the question, what exactly won Taylor over? When did she realize she truly wanted to be with him? Let's delve deeper into this. You're familiar with the saying, it's the thought that counts, right? Well, Taylor definitely valued Travis's inventive thoughtfulness, and she was certainly taking note. Because seriously, who would even consider crafting a bracelet with their phone number on it and intend to present it to Taylor at her concert? Here's how Travis's elaborate scheme unfolded. He attended one of her concerts with the intention of meeting her during the meet and greet. So this fanboy decides to make her a friendship bracelet with his number on it. But alas, Travis's elaborate scheme was doomed from the start. Taylor ended up being a no-show for the meet and greet, and honestly, who could blame her? Clearly, she was drained from her performance that evening and simply yearned to retreat to her bed for some much-needed rest. While Taylor missed her opportunity to encounter the love of her life that night, fate had something else in store. Travis must have experienced that sinking feeling of letdown, which he couldn't help but discuss on the podcast he co-hosts with his brother.
Taylor Swift, I know you went to the Taylor Swift concert. How was it?
Yeah, well, I was disappointed that she doesn't talk before or after her shows because she has to save her voice for the 44 songs that she sings. So I was a little butthurt I didn't get to hand her one of the bracelets I made for her.
You made her a bracelet?
Yeah, if you're up on Taylor Swift concerts, there are friendship bracelets, and I received a bunch of them being there, but I wanted to give Taylor Swift one with my number on it. Not right now.
Your number's in 87 or your phone number?
You know which one. She doesn't meet anybody, or at least she didn't want to meet me, so I took it personal.
She probably just hasn't gotten over the Super Bowl yet. She's a big Eagles fan. Maybe she just made something up and just didn't want to talk to you.
And because fate seems to be weaving its magic for this couple, Taylor would eventually learn about Travis's intriguing attempt to win her over, and she would later uncover that Travis harbored a huge crush on her for the longest time. Moreover, she would come to realize that despite being a renowned and accomplished NFL player with Super Bowl victories under his belt, Travis proudly identifies as a member of the Swifties. Now that Taylor was newly single, There were undoubtedly a handful of celebrities sliding into her DMs and making advances at events. However, somehow, Travis succeeded in capturing her attention. From Taylor's perspective, Travis's candid expression of his admiration for her, even without having met her, demonstrated his openness. It was a refreshing change for her. The transparency was something she had yearned for during her 6-year relationship with Joe Alwyn. Indeed, she was genuinely invested in Joe, and we don't believe she despised the privacy aspect. However, ultimately, it proved unsustainable, a fact Taylor was well aware of. Unless you've been living under a rock, you'd recognize that Taylor's career is currently at its zenith. She's undeniably that superstar. Our girl was consistently selling out concert venues with thousands of fans in attendance. She's been consistently dropping hit albums one after another, and let's face it, her level of fame naturally necessitates being seen more publicly. So all the secrecy she maintained with Joe just became draining after a while. Remember what Taylor's public life was like back then? She was on fire, from her exclusive secret sessions with fans to extravagant July parties, not to mention those glamorous red carpet appearances with her multitude of friends, followed by wild nights out with them. All of that took a significant toll, not only because of Joe, but also due to the incessant online drama and bullying. The incident that really pushed her over the edge was the one involving Kim Kardashian. After the pandemic, we witnessed her attempting to re-emerge as a more visible public figure. However, it seemed like Joe was holding her back. You could sense that her lyrics, "You Are Losing Me" in 2021 were aimed at Joe and conveyed how challenging it was for them to remain together. She simply couldn't continue living her life just to please him. And then comes along this guy who isn't afraid to openly express how infatuated he was with Taylor, even though they weren't officially a couple yet. Taylor found it quite amusing how Travis attempted to catch her attention with the bracelet, which piqued her interest. The singer also divulged some exclusive details to the Times, stating, "This all began when Travis charmingly called me out on his podcast, which I thought was incredibly cool." Fast forward a few months later, and we spot Taylor at one of Travis's games, hinting that these two might be giving each other a chance. While many assumed it was their first date, Taylor clarified that they had hung out several times before the game. She said, "By the time I went to that first game, we were already a couple. I think some people think they witnessed our first date at that game. We would never be crazy enough to make our first date so public." She explained that before the game, they had a substantial amount of time together that no one knew about, something she's thankful for because it allowed them to truly get to know each other. It was during that period when she realized Travis was more than just a man trying to grab a celebrity's attention. She saw someone who genuinely cared for her. With Travis, Taylor has been experiencing the time of her life. It's as if a burden has been lifted from her shoulders, allowing her to truly embody the carefree, fun-loving girl who enjoys being seen having a blast with her friends. The most rewarding aspect is having a partner who openly supports her, never shying away from being there for her in public, in stark contrast to her experience with Joe. It's quite amusing to reflect on it. Joe would attend her concerts wearing a baseball cap, trying to hide from the camera. Who does that indeed? You can't even openly support your partner at her own concert? It's baffling. Let's not overlook the cringe-worthy video of Joe practically dragging Taylor into the car, attempting to evade the paparazzi. This is in stark contrast to how Travis effortlessly interacts with them, sometimes even ignoring their presence entirely, much like Taylor has been doing for years. And let's not make excuses for Joe struggling with the attention, because Travis isn't accustomed to it either. Here's what he had to say about it. "I've never dealt with it. But at the same time, I'm not dodging any of it. The scrutiny she faces, how she's under a constant magnifying glass every single day, with paparazzi outside her house, trailing her to every restaurant and waiting for her after every flight. And yet, she's just living her life, enjoying it to the fullest. When she carries herself like that, I better not be the one acting all strange." The contrast couldn't be clearer. Travis and Taylor are clearly not shying away from the intense media attention that comes with their relationship. Instead, they've embraced it and are simply moving forward. So yeah, they're definitely all about openly loving each other and being proud of it. You just sense she's having a blast, especially after her statement. When you say a relationship is public, that means I'm going to see him do what he loves, we're showing up for each other people are there, and we don't care, she elaborated. The opposite of that is you have to go to an extreme amount of effort to make sure no one knows that you're seeing someone, and we're just proud of each other. So what's your take? Has Taylor Swift finally found her Prince Charming? Or will Travis buckle under the pressure of heightened public scrutiny? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you want to stay updated on the latest celebrity news, be sure to subscribe to Pop Plug. Plus, if you're curious about Travis's love confession for Taylor Swift at the AFC Championship, don't miss out on watching our next video.